Success leaves clues, and we try to make those clues obvious, but sometimes those clues you have to discover on your own. As I was mentioning yesterday on our call, Andy loves it when you can discover a lot of things on your own, because those are the lessons that stick. Sometimes you can't, you don't learn something until you're going through it yourself, and then you get the aha moment. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it now. That's right. You go from you're right, and then something happens to you, and then it's that's right, because it happened to me, right? And so trust me, like some of the stuff y'all are going through right now, I've probably been through it or something similar, and I've dealt with it or I'm dealing with it, you know. So don't let this calm and this calm demeanor fool you. You know, there's stuff, man. And but yeah, we just deal with it, man. We deal with it and move on. I don't wallow in it. I try to, in fact, here's kind of my clue. I might have covered this on a video before, but I take my mind off stuff that I worry about. Like, really, what do they say? 90% of the things you worry about never happen. So imagine all the energy of worrying about something. 90% of that energy could have been channeled positively towards moving forward in your life, instead of, you know, because you know what worry does? It kind of keeps you in your place and you retreat. It actually, you go backwards. I kind of look at and kind of talk about, yeah, I have the glove on, so I might be doing something on a whiteboard. I got a new whiteboard program, so we'll see if this one works better. I think it will, but when I look at, I kind of look at my life as this timeline from birth to death, okay? From birth to death. And I'm moving through it. Whether I want to or not, I'm moving through it. Every day comes until it doesn't, until the Lord says, okay, man, time for you to check out of this world and go to the next one. And we obviously don't know when that is. Well, we know it is coming. And I like to talk about the dash on your headstone, because it has the date of when you were born and the date when you check out of this world, and there's the dash in between. And so I look at my life as that dash, that continuous movement over time of when I was born to the present to the future, right? So I had this revelation in church this morning of being present, being there, and participating mentally with the moment, being in church. And it's like, it kind of gave me this revelation that, wow, we do live from moment to moment. So when you're living too far in the future, or when living in the past, you miss the chance to do what you need to do right now, right? So the part about in the future, worrying about what's going to happen or having regrets about what had happened totally steals the moment now of what you can accomplish. Does that make sense? So like, that's part of what Andy's talking about, is being too hung up on things that don't move you forward in your life. You're going to move through life, but are you moving forward or backward, right? Are you accomplishing and moving towards what God wants you to be in your life? Or are you moving backwards to what the enemy wants you to become, right? So you can define however you want. It's like, what is the best thing for Satan, for the enemy? What's the best thing for him is that you do nothing, and that you let the world work on you, and that you feel like you're not in control, and that you worry all the time, and that you miss the moments of what you can do today because you're having regrets of the past or you're worrying about the future. See, the enemy steals every moment of your life right now, because he knows that the control of your life is what you can do right now in this moment. And that's how you change the trajectory of your future towards where God wants you to be. Versus letting the past rule your present, which will keep you in that same oppression that you've been all your life. You ever had that feeling like, man, I'm still in the same place I was last year? How many of y'all felt that? Well, probably because you are. Probably because all kinds of reasons. Probably because of the wasted present moments that you've wasted doing things that were not moving you towards a future that you desire, right? So when Andy talks about how do you get someone to move, how do you get someone to move is help them realize what is the future they want to create for themselves, right? So it starts off with, what is that for you? You know, we always talk about the why. Well, what is it? It sounds so trite, but it's not. It's a real thing. What is it you want to accomplish in your future? What do you want your future to look like, right? I feel like, let's see if this will work. See if this will work. Okay, so I'm hoping, there you go. Okay, can you guys see my whiteboard? Give me a thumbs up. Jack, can you see my whiteboard? Okay, cool. I love that gallery view. Okay, so what was I talking about? Okay, so to get you to move, to get me to move, there's this future that you want to create for yourself. Actually, I need to do it left to right. Okay, this is working. Okay, so there's this future that you're trying to create for yourself, okay? And this is now. That's your trajectory towards the now. And then this is your past. I got to do it slower. That's your past. Oh, well, it's starting to get there. I promise you, I'm going to master this somehow. All right. So going from here to here, you have to tell me how bad you want this. How bad do you want that? Because in our business, there are things that you need to do to get there. There are things that I need to do to get there, right? Now, you're thinking, golly, Alex, I want to be where you're at. You're making all this money. You got a big group, whatever. It's like, man, why don't you get to where Andy Albright is, all right? But I am on my journey too, right? I have my issues, and I'm trying to work through my salvation with fear and trembling. So, I'm saying, come on with me. Come on with me. Come on with me, right? We're going to help each other. I'm going to help you. You're going to help me. We're going to help each other get there, okay? So here's what I know about what it takes, okay? And let's just talk really kind of from a business perspective, right? From the lifestyle you want to create. Why did you get in this business? And you tell, well, I wanted to create income independently. I've got this situation in my life where I can only work during these times. I need the independence of doing something like this. Rock on. Alex, I have been down for the last several years. I'm used to making 200 grand a year. This happened, that happened, this medical situation happened. I lost my job. I can't find anything because I'm too old. People, there's age discrimination, and I'm only making 50 grand a year. I need to figure out how to get back to that 200,000 a year income because I know I can do that. Okay. Or, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of my current lifestyle, and I'm sick and tired of the job I've been doing. I've been doing menial labor compared to what I think I can do, what I'm worth. and no one's been able to recognize that. So I've realized the only one who's going to recognize it is me, and I'm hooking up with your program because I believe that you're going to allow me to reach my potential. Rock on. Whatever that is, it's going to turn into some kind of income goal normally. And then the other goals that come from income that you start to develop is, what kind of person do I want to be in the process? I want to be a better person in this regard. I want to have a better relationship with my children, with my spouse. I want to have a better, you start thinking about other things that are more than just the money, but right now you come into the business because it's a money thing. It's like, how can I shore up the money part of it, okay? So what I'm going to tell you is, okay, because I've done this 19 years and I've had a track record of helping people make seven-figure income, helping people make multiple six-figure income, helping people, right? I think I know a certain level of what Andy's taught me. So I'm passing on what Andy's taught me and what all the books have taught me. I'm looking at all the books in my office. Yeah, I'm in Switzerland. Remember the Matterhorn? So I'm thinking about all the things that I've done and what it's gotten me. Okay, so I've gotten at least here. So I'll only tell you what I've done to get to where I'm going, where I am today, and then where I'm going. And I think that if you do the same things, then you're going to be well on your way. Now, when I tell you these things, then it becomes your choice of how many people. Wow, that's a large number for a builder's call. I'm kind of impressed. So when I tell you these things, then it becomes your choice on whether you decide to do it or not. And then that is the choice you make now. See, the choices you make now, the habits you develop from that choice will determine the time it takes, call that T, to get to your desired outcome. And everything that I say and recommend to you that you decide not to do it will stretch it out even longer, incrementally longer and longer and longer. The only problem with time is that we believe time is an unlimited resource, when in fact time is not unlimited. Time is a finite resource that for all kinds of reasons, like not only death, but disability, incapacitation. I talked about that yesterday. By the way, man, that lifetime or the living benefits insurance approach is just blowing up. I've got people pounding me saying, hey, can you send me a link to that PowerPoint? It's like, okay. I mean, I was reluctant to put it a downloadable link because I've got other things maybe to add to it. But people want it now. So anyway, and then, like I said on that call, that you don't know when it's going to happen to you. But the chances are that if it does happen, you've got a, 70% chance of surviving it. The only problem is you're going to be incapacitated where you can't work. You can't earn income for your family. And that's the devastation part, is that you don't die right away. I mean, you think that's weird. You mean it's more devastating that they don't die right away? Yeah, kind of, especially if you have life insurance. But if you have a living benefits policy, then if you don't die right away, your income is you have a medical incapacitation where you can't earn income for your family, then that's where the living benefits kick in, okay? So what we're talking about here is the same thing. The living benefits of building a business. It's no different than having a living benefits life insurance policy, but what we're talking about here is being able to continue to move towards that lifestyle goal, whether or not you can do it, or whether or not you're incapacitated, and that's the other part. So, okay, and that's the building the business part, which is why we're on this call. We're going to talk about building a business. But let me get back to the point. Now it becomes your choice. So you live by the consequences of your choices. And when you think about where you are today, if you're not satisfied with where you are today, do you know who to blame, right? You blame yourself. I blame myself for not being further along. I look at myself and go, man, you need to be further along. How come you're not? Because of me, not because of anything else. So if you, number one, the first step is recognizing you take personal responsibility for where you're at today, because where you are today is based on all the decisions you've made, the choices you made, the choices of the people you hung around, the choices of the people you chose to listen to, the choices of your activity, your actions, and the way you think puts you in the position today. So knowing that those things that you did, the choices you made put you in the position today, get fired up. Because by changing those choices, that's going to change your trajectory to where you want it to go. So it should give you a certain level of comfort knowing that, you know what, if I bring myself here, I'm going to bring myself out. And it's all in your hands. So get fired up, man. I'm giving you, the control that you have. I'm hoping I'm helping you realize through Jedi mind tricks that everything is in your hands to change it. Okay, so based on my experience in the business, my 19 years, I'm going to lay out the things that you really have to make a decision on doing if you want to get to where you want to go. If Andy Albright's successor in the indication, Diane Lampy, Paul Roberts, the Leventoviches, everything that they're doing, I'm not even talking about me, okay, but all the other folks. Remember that part about when I say something doesn't make as much sense as when I hold up other people as an example. That's how it works. But I've done okay. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger. Okay, let me tell you the things you got to do to make this, to really get the most out of the business. Whoa, that was cool. To get the most, to really shorten your path. So these are the shorten your path types of things. I'm going to make it very simple, and you're going to think, wow, that's all? It's like, oh man. Okay, so give you my opinion. Okay, and this is, okay. So the first thing, golly, man, why is it not working out? Number one, you got to be a good listener. You have to listen. Okay, what do I mean by listen? You have to listen to what Andy's teaching, listen to what the Alliance University is teaching, listen to the things I'm teaching, system, and then implement it. And implement it sooner than later. In other words, do it now, because if you don't do it now, then you're moving your goal another month, 3 months, 6 months, a year later. And certain decisions you make will determine how many years later that your goal is going to be obtained. All right? Like, I'm talking seriously. Like, when you put off a decision of not coming to Instant Thunder, for example, Instant Thunder is coming up in September 19th through the 21st. Okay? That's an example. If you decide not to go, what you've done is you've moved back the goal, the thing you're trying to achieve, by 6 months to 12 months. Alex, come on, man. How do you... Dude, seriously, I've been in this business 19 years. I've seen it over and over again. The people that come to those functions advance their business, their mentality, their work effort, their belief further immediately than, it's like trying to get your degree in college, And you have to get that one class, it could be American history as a requirement to graduate from Harvard University. And that American history, that special American history class, is only offered in the springtime. And then every springtime, something came up where you couldn't fit that slot into one of your class schedule. All of a sudden, it's your senior year. You can't figure out how to fit in your schedule because something came up. Bro, you're not graduating from Harvard University until you get that class done. And you're not going to get your goal because you didn't get this particular thing done. I'm not talking specifically about Instant Thunder, but it could be the piece that you're missing. This business is a business of putting jigsaw pieces, the jigsaw pieces of the puzzle together. Bro, I can't even emphasize that enough. The piece you're missing to move on is the piece that was offered at Instant Thunder that you could put in place, and then boom, it makes sense. The picture makes sense because the last jigsaw puzzle was right there. The piece that you're missing could have been on the last activity call that we just completed that Andy gave you, and he may not cover that topic for another year and a half. 18 months from now, he's going to cover something that was the last jigsaw puzzle that made you realize, oh my gosh, that's the thing that's been holding me back. And you know that everything that you miss is an opportunity that you could have filled in that jigsaw puzzle into your picture of what it's going to take to move you forward, and everything you miss the opportunity. That's all the business is, gang. Seriously, the four things I'm going to cover here is putting that jigsaw puzzle together that's holding you back from moving forward. Every piece moves you closer to completing the picture of the future and the vision that you want to accomplish. And everything you miss, whether it's a hotspot meeting, right? Whether it's a conference call, whether it's one of these webinars, whether it's Alliance University videos, it's national conference, it's family reunion conference, whether it's an Instant Thunder, everything you miss is delaying completing the picture. Seriously, like Andy and I, we've known each other since the Amway business back in '93. Like, we've known each other a long time. And in that business, it was the same thing. And I never wanted to miss the opportunity. Never wanted to miss the opportunity to fill in my jigsaw puzzle up here so I can move forward in my life, move forward towards my goal, move forward towards the financial freedom that I was desperate for. So because I was desperate for it, I wasn't willing to compromise anything because I didn't want to miss anything. Does that make sense? I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want to miss an opportunity to get around the people that knew more than me. I didn't want to miss, because I would be so hungry for what they had to share. I would travel night owls. Like, there was this real famous diamond in the AmBiz who was, I heard through the grapevine that he was going to be in Akron, Ohio. So I said, dude, do you know Greg Duncan's going to be up in Akron? I heard through the grapevine, and it's just a small meeting, and he's sneaking into Akron. Like, this guy making gazillion dollars a year, and he's flying into Ohio, and he wasn't even in our direct up line. And Patrick said, dude, let's go. It's like, man, let's go. We got a chance to be like, between him and me, we were like, we had pizza with him. He was just dropping nuggets, and he knew what group we were in, and he couldn't have served us more. In fact, it was weird because he was giving us more attention than his group, because we were in Paul Miller's group. And oh my gosh, that changed my business, because he said things in there that totally like changed things up here. And then, man, I exploded mentally with what I was doing because I had a chance to spend those 2 hours with him. And we drove up to Akron, which might have been 2.5 hours, 3 hours. You know, Patrick totally remembers this. In fact, we talk about it still, because the stuff we learned there, the servant attitude that he had, impacts us to this day. See, that was a piece of the jigsaw puzzle that filled in for me, that I take today moving forward. And you can't replace that. You can never take those memories away. So being a listener, right, is going to things and taking those things you learn, putting it in the jigsaw puzzle of your life so that you can complete the picture, the vision that you need to be, that you want for yourself and your family, right? So being a good listener means actively listening. When you're sitting at a hotspot meeting, you're taking notes, you're leaning forward, you're recording it. You're not just letting it blow by, because even if you attend, sometimes that doesn't make a difference because you're sitting there, lollygagging around. You're not like leaning forward, man. That's what Andy Allbright talks about. Lean forward, Bo. Lean forward, take notes, eat it up. Like seminars, we've spent $7,000 on seminars where we went as a leadership group, $7,000-8,000 to be at a particular John Maxwell session. There's something about when you pay $7,000 to be at a 2.5-day session. Man, tell me, I spent $7,000 for this. See, the problem is we might spend $129 for this in Thunder. It's like, oh, it's only $129. You just go there, eat good food, get around, say, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Seeing all your friends, hugging them, and you get nothing out of it. Okay, so listening is an active listening. Listening is, what can I get out of this to move me forward? What is the piece I'm missing in my life? What do I want from this? A lot of times you got to figure out what you want from a session, from a hotspot, from the leaders. You got to know what you want in order to get it, right? And then you're going to, when you're leaning in, you're going to hear something that you needed that you didn't know you needed. That's sort of the Easter egg. That's the Easter egg that you didn't know. The thing you got that you didn't know you needed, but you've heard it and you found out, oh my gosh, blew me away. You know what I mean? I don't want to bump into that mountain. Listen. Active listening. Going to where Andy Allbright is. I don't care if you got to travel 6 hours. There are the folks, when he was in Denver, Jared Gonzalez and Jerry Gonzalez and all those people in New Mexico drove up. I think that's maybe a 4 to 6 hour drive to go from New Mexico to where they're at, from where they're at to Denver. It's like, man, maybe it's 4 hours. Worth it. Worth it. Andy Albright's going to be, you know his schedule. He's going to be in Chicago, I think next week. If you're, I don't care how far. Again, another opportunity to fill in jigsaw puzzles, another opportunity to advance yourself in the business to get there quicker. I mean, I can't. You got to be a good listener. When I suggest a book, or when Andy suggests a book, or the book list in the 8 Steps to Success, oh, by the way, you got to read that too. Those are the starter books. So any book I recommend is after you've read those books. You know, you got to get to that mentality. So you got to be a good listener, okay? Number 2 is a 4-letter word. Bo, brother, you got to be willing to work. So you could be the smartest person in the world, but if you're not willing to back it up with getting on the phone, making dials, getting on the phone and recruiting people, then all of it is nothing, means nothing. Because you'd be a smart, broke person. I love these people who can quote chapter and verse on everything in Andy's Millionaire Maker Manual, but they've not done anything. They made, 20 dials last week. It's like, seriously, dude, what are you waiting for? You can't just read. You can't just attend meetings. See, the danger is you can make this business a great membership club, a great feel-good membership club where you join just to be around good people. And you know what? God bless you. I'm not saying, don't go. We need you. Because maybe sometime it's going to click. But all this knowledge and education doesn't mean squat until you put work behind it. You've got to work. Work with the knowledge is everything. Knowledge without work is nothing. It's kind of like faith without works. Faith without works is dead. Faith without, it's biblical. Faith without works is dead. I have faith. Okay, Bo, when the first hard thing happens to you, how are you going to react to it? Are you going to work your way through it because you have faith? Because the other part is true. Work without faith is dead. Whoa. What'd you say? Faith without works is dead, but you know, work without faith is dead. I didn't make that up. God put that together. So you got to work. By working, you will start understanding why we do the things we do, why we say the things we say, why we teach what we teach. Because in the work will come obstacles. In the work will come victories. In the work will come progress. In the work will come learning. In the work will come a realization that, hey man, Brant Swindell has nothing on me. Michelle Allman has nothing on me. I can do what they're doing because I'm doing the work. If I do the work they're doing, I will eventually get the results they're getting. So you cannot just listen. You also have to work. Now, what's the work? It's not getting on a roof at 100-degree heat in the middle of summer, roofing a roof. We're not talking about that kind of work. We're talking about click, 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 click. 10 numbers, click, 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 da, da. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. This is Alex. I'm with the Mortgage Protection Department, and I'm looking at this form you sent in. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be out in your area. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm coming out to your house. I'm coming from the south. How do I get there? Blah, 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 blah. Hello, Joe. This is Alex. Click. Huh. Somehow I got disconnected. Bop, 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 bop. Hello, Joe. Hey, somehow we got disconnected. Okay, tell me how hard that is. Come on, let's put it in context, man. Someone yells at you on the phone. Did they take your birthday away? They don't even know you. It's amazing how our fears and worries can prevent us from doing that which is simple. This is your key to your income, to realizing the benefits of the business, is this dadgum phone. This phone, this is your power tool. Talk about superhero. This is your bat belt. This is your utility belt. You're Batman. You're pulling this out. I'm going to save the day with your phone. Seriously, man. I'm getting all these texts. Oh, man. I love what Tom said here. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That is why we call it the present. Eleanor Roosevelt. That rocks, Tom. That totally rocks. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That is why they call it the present. Eleanor Roosevelt. Man, that rocks. Work. Picking up the phone, making dials. Picking up the phone, recruiting, putting out some ads, buying leads, whatever. You can't make dials on nobody, so you got to get the people to call. You can't do recruiting calls without finding people to recruit. So there's the supply side of that with doing the work. How do you do that? How you find the supply side of resources is you talk to us. You talk to Ginny, my wife, on leads. You talk to me about recruiting leads. Work. So listen, work. Number 3. Listen, I'm creating a new font. It's called the sparse font. Associate. being in life, being around the people that are where you want to be in your life. I know you've heard this a gazillion times, but I'm going to say it again. Your income is determined by the top 5 to 10 people you hang around with all the time. Like when you look as you've grown up in your life, as you progress in your career, your income is probably separated by 5 to 10,000 among the top people, the 5 people, usually it's about 5 people that you hang around with all the time. And that will determine your income. I don't care what they're doing. It just seems to work that way. So it's simple. How do you change your income? Hang around a high level of income people. Hang around millionaires. And if you're making 50 grand a year, you're going to eventually learn how to make $1 million because you're hanging around the people that are. It's the power of association. It's the power of peer pressure when you choose to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation with people that are doing better than you financially. Okay. So let me they might not be doing better than you problem-wise, because I promise you they have the same problems you do. Maybe different problems, but problems that have the same gravity in their lives as the ones that have the same gravity in yours. So let's not be comparing problems, okay? Well, let's compare the lifestyle that they're at with which they can deal with those problems. Because I promise you, dealing with problems, not worrying about income is a lot easier than dealing with the same gravity of problems when on top of it you have financial pressure. Do you see how different that is? So in order to get to there where they're dealing with their problems without financial pressure, you need to get around them, because hanging around them, you're going to hear how they think. You can hear how they make decisions. And a lot of times the difference between where you are and they are is the fact that they've made different decisions based on the information. See, the way you've been making decisions has put you where you are today. The way they've been making decisions has put them where they are. And so what you think about making a decision about something in your life that's impactful, they've made a different decision. So what you need to do is you need to get around them to make the same decision they made. And sometimes it's a harder decision. Sometimes it's counterintuitive to the world. See, because there's a reason why 2% retire with any kind of financial dignity, because the 2% made different decisions than the 98%. So kind of a rule of thumb is if you see the crowd doing something, then you probably want to do something different than them, because you start doing what they're doing, you're going to have what they got. And they ain't got a very exciting lifestyle. They're not making an impact typically on anybody, and they're always worried. But the 2%, baby, that's who you need to get around. So if you hear about someone important coming to a hotspot meeting, I go to that meeting. I'd be a little bit selfish, and instead of my meeting or a meeting that you attend that has nobody that's making over 100 grand a year, but you can go to another meeting and travel where they're making 7 figures, I think maybe I would go to my meeting, but then I would find a way to get to that meeting that's on a different night. I would get some leads and run business in that area that might be 3, 4, 6 hours away. And then I would run business there so I could write the trip off, attend that meeting, get around the people, then come home. That's what I would do. See, I would let everything make sense of what I'm doing, that I can work in business with it and association. That's sort of the magic. It's what Andy says, making money while you're making money. You're making money by writing business, but you're making big money when you're associating, right? Association can take so many forms. It's what you listen to in the car. It's turning off ESPN radio and listening to an MP3 that Andy did. Getting on a podcast. Have you listened to all the podcasts on the Alliance Media app? Do you even have the Alliance Media app on your phone so that you can listen to podcasts when you're in between appointments? Like, all that stuff is power of association, because you're associating via your phone. Again, the utility belt. This is your utility belt, superhero. Remember this? As long as you put in your utility phone, in your utility belt, the things that will advance you. Association, going to hotspot meetings and getting around the people that are successful, not around the complainers. Like, man, there every household meeting, typically, there's that small group of complainers that gossip and that aren't doing good. And they just go to feel good about gossiping and getting around other miserable people. Misery loves company. Don't get around them. Get around the fired up people that are doing something, that are working, right? Association by attending all our conference calls, association by attending all our functions. You see kind of how that listening part, so you associate by getting around the people, and then you listen to what they're saying, and then you implement it through work. These are all interrelated. You see how it all works together? But one without the other makes everything fall flat. Again, the faith and works and work and faith. This is what I'm talking about. You need to listen, you need to work, and you need to associate with the people that are listening, working, and associating themselves, right? Everything that you can do, all the successful people you can be around can only help you. When has it ever been a bad thing to get the right people? So let's take this down to your own family level. Your children, who would you want your children to hang around? Do you want them to hang around the back parking lot, smokers and marijuana smokers and potheads and other drugs? You want your kids hanging around them in high school? Or would you rather have your children hanging around the people, the kids that are college bound, looking to improve themselves, looking for something better in their lives, and they're willing to work hard to get it? So you tell me, which group would you rather have your children hang around? And what I'm going to tell you is that that choice for you, that choice for them is the same for you, right? I mean, seriously, hanging around losers and people that think negatively and people that gossip are going to turn you into that back parking lot type person. But choosing to hang around the people that are upwardly bound, ambitious, that are working and doing something to change their lives, those are the people you hang around so you can be like those people. Association, man, do not underestimate the power of association. How much time do I got? Number 4. Change. I got to kind of color that in. The hardest thing being human is change. It's easier when you're younger, like when you're a baby. You got what? How many billions of new cells that are reproducing to develop as a human being? It's amazing how fast that happens when you're younger. As you get older, the way the human brain works is that the neural pathways that are being created when you're young, they're very malleable. But as you get older, this is the physiology of it actually. As you get older, those neural pathways create connections that the neurons run through when you're making decisions, and experiences that you experience, they start creating neural pathways that are the same. And then there's this mylar thing that wraps itself around those neural pathways to protect them, to keep them in place. So the problem is when you get older, that mylar makes it harder to change wrong thinking, because the wrong decisions you've made it's been wrapped around with this mylar thing. Right? I'm sorry to get nerdy on you, but that's how it works. I think that's in that Duhigg Power Habit. He talks about there. Can't get that in the light. I think he talks about that here in Power Habit. There's some other books, that you got to undo the mylar and change. That's why change is so hard when you're older. Okay, so you got to change, man. That means getting out of your comfort zone. See, change doesn't happen when you stay in your comfort zone. Change only happens when you get out of your comfort zone. So how do you know that change is imminent? Because that thing that you do, the work part that you do, is uncomfortable. So embrace the uncomfortable feeling. Embrace the fear that comes up, that wells up of doing something new, because you're about ready to change. Get excited about that change. Now, look, Is it normal? Is it uncomfortable? Yeah, it is normal. Like Jesus, man, before he gave up his life, man, he said, Father, is there any way that I can exit this strategy? This game plan is freaking me out. You know, drops of blood. His sweat were like drops of blood. He tried to see if there's a way. Can you imagine the agony and the anxiety knowing that you're going to give your life in the way that he did? And they say that crucifixion is one of the worst tortures that any person can inflict on someone else, because you literally suffocate on the cross. Your lungs fill with fluid, and you're just trying to breathe. And it really becomes not only all the other things, but the suffocation that occurs. It's just one of the most, I'm sure some of y'all have seen those documentaries on the way that crucifixion, how someone dies from it. One of the worst and most painful and excruciating. You know, and you're talking about the Son of God who's having anxiety and fear, right? Remember, he took on our nature. And so he knew what we're going through. He knows what fear and anxiety is like. But then when he said, but your will be done, calm, because he knew what he had to do, and he was given the strength. You know, God sent him an angel to comfort him, right? You know what? Our Lord is our comforting angel. See, he's someone who knows what we are going through, and he's there to strengthen us, to give us the calm that everything's going to be all right, man. Everything's going to be all right. So just like he said, but your will be done, man, let God's will be done in your life by embracing that uncomfortableness of change. Because God wants you to be the best version of yourself. He wants you to realize his dream, God's dream for you. And the only way to get there is to get uncomfortable, is to die to self. You ever heard that terminology? Die to self. Die to self means letting go of that which you're secure, but holding you back, and launch off by faith and works to the change that will help you become closer to him, closer of his version, his dream for you to become. He's given you a chance. Every day he's given you, every moment, every present moment he's given you is this gift for you to become closer to him, to do the things that he wants you to do, to become better, to help influence and impact other people by you stepping out in faith and doing that which is uncomfortable. And the power of change in your life will influence others. I don't know that I've been more inspired by watching other people grow and change than my own growth and change. I look back 10 years ago, I'm a different person today than I was 10 years ago. But I'm more inspired by seeing someone change in the last 6 months. When I look at Andrew Peters and to see his change over the 2-3 years I've known him, amazing. And he's got more to do, but it inspires me. Because it's not easy. What he's been through has not been easy, but he just keeps pushing forward. Not perfect, but he keeps pushing forward. I love seeing it because it inspires me. So, but he didn't do it to inspire me, but watching his change just inspires me. That will happen for you. When you get out of your comfort zone and you're willing to embrace change by overcoming the fear and embracing the fear and getting out of your comfort zone, man, you are on your way, I promise you. See, because that's the moment when you exercise faith. When you exercise faith and the work it takes to be able to step through the fear and do that which is uncomfortable so that you can grow and you can change. Hardest part in this business is change. I promise you. It's going to force you to look in the mirror, and it's going to force you to rip yourself open and look inside of who you really are, and loving that person. Not loving the person that you present to other people, but opening yourself up and realize, you know what? You're just like all these other people that are fighting. You're okay. I'm okay. You look in the mirror and say, you know what? Despite all those things, I have a God in heaven that loves me. He's already forgiven me of all my shortcomings. He knows every hair on my head. And you know what? My Father in heaven's rooting for me. He's rooting for me. He sent guardian angels to guide me. What else do you have to be fearful of? Because you got God on your side. So whatever the enemy puts in your path, the gates of hell shall not prevail. Remember that part? Man, you've got your shield. So you got your utility belt. You superhero have your shield now because it's God. And he will shield you from all the crap that Satan's throwing your way, the darts he's throwing your way. It's like, got that one, got that one, got that one. What is it, vibranium? You got something stronger than vibranium for all you Marvel comic people. I know, I are one. It's stronger than Captain America's shield. You have the shield if you choose to pick it up and wield it. It's there. So how can you not change when you got him on your side, our king on your side? Man, it's like, whatever. Come at me, because I got God on my side, man. He's protecting me with his angels. Boom. All right, man. Those are the 4 things. Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to work? Are you willing to associate? Are you willing to change? Okay, so what does this really mean, Alex? What do I need to do? I don't know why that red mark's there. Okay, so I'm going to give you some really quick things. Really quick things that I recommend. Again, you can choose whatever you want to do. Okay? This business, when you look at your objective of creating income, why, like a lot of you out there are thinking, sales. I can only make sales. This is the way I'm going to. It's like, Bo, what you're doing is you're ignoring half the business. It's like getting to a Ferrari and then only running it in second gear. You're in a vehicle to get you where you want to go. Why are you running your car in second gear? Don't you know that there are 2, 3 other gears? I think there are 6. Actually, that 6 is reversed. So there are other gears. There's overdrives and, 3rd, 4th gear and overdrive. So you got 3 other gears to put your car going, 180 miles an hour, but you're operating in second gear. I don't care if you're pegging out at 7,000 RPM, you're only going to go but so fast because you're not operating the car to the performance level and you're not realizing that, right? So my recommendation, again, Mr. Phelps, you can choose to accept it or not. Mission Impossible reference. So you got to put a list of names together. These are people that you know. People, I like to call it the top 25. Your top 25 people that you like, trust, you think they're sharp, you're a little bit scared of them. I call your chicken list. Put them together and let your upline call them up and see if they're looking for an opportunity. I like to go into my recruiter mode, and when I call them up, I say, hey, Joe, hey, listen, I was just talking to Andrew. Andrew's a buddy of yours, right? You know Andrew from a previous work experience? I say, yeah. Okay, well, listen, I'm partnered with a buddy of mine out of Raleigh, North Carolina, out of Burlington, North Carolina, owns a financial company. And we're looking to hire someone in your area. And I was talking to Andrew about some sharp people he knew. And, so we're looking for part-time people, full-time people, whatever time people. He said you were sharp, and I was just reaching out to see if you'd be interested in interviewing with our company to see if there might be a potential fit. Let me ask you, are you open to a part-time or full-time situation right now? That's all. Are you interested in interviewing? Right? That's it. And they could either say yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, what is it? And I've got answers for all 3 of those things. You may not have the answers for those 3 things, but I have all those answers. I've been doing this really 19 plus, 7 years, 26 years I've been in a business like this. And then I was 3 years as a recruiter. So actually 30 years, really, literally, of the process of doing that script on people. Like when I was a recruiter, headhunter, I would do the exact same thing. But a lot of times the person that recommended, they didn't want to know that they were working with a recruiter. So they wouldn't disclose, they wouldn't want me to disclose their name. I can do that too. I don't care. I can do that too. The simple thing is, are they looking or are they not looking? And if they're looking, awesome, let's get them started just like you. And then let's get them going through the process. And guess what? You're going to start making overrides on them. And part of your future that you're trying to create can also include the third, fourth, and fifth gears of the Ferrari, which is the recruiting side of the business. Well, Alex, I got to make sure that it's working for me first. Why? Why? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. Why do you have to be the arbitrator of your friend or family's future? Can't they make their decision? Here's my thing. What if they're better than you? God, please let them be better than me. Right? That's your answer is, please, God, let them be better than me because I'm overriding that baby forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to be better than me. I want them to evaluate the business independent of me. Why would you stand in the way of someone else making a decision? Do you know how much this business has changed my life? You have no idea. I've been this 19 years, going on 19 years, because Andy decided to call me. If he didn't contact me, who knows where I'd be, gang? Seriously, who knows where I would be? Maybe some cubicle farm, looking out the window, wondering, God, Lord, is there anything better than this? And it was because Andy Albright, when he decided to let me make my own decision, like he was hardly even successful in it. He hired about 3 or 4 other people, and they were just getting started. He was barely making any money. He called me, right? And he let me make my decision. He presented the facts of the opportunity. I thought, wow, this is rocking. Hey, Andy, are other people successful with this? He goes, yeah, I can show you a leaderboard. All these people making money. That's all I needed to see, other people that are actually doing it. It didn't have to be Andy. It's like, I can do whatever anyone else is doing if I do what they did. See, I always had that confidence that, God is no respecter of persons. So if I could do what they're doing, then I'm going to get the results. If I get half the results starting out, he showed me guys making 100, 200 grand a year. I said, dude, if I get half the results doing it part-time, rock on. Do you understand? I never stood in the way of letting my people make their own decisions for themselves and their family. So why do you have to be successful first? We can show you a leaderboard. Remember the leaderboard that you've heard on all these calls? Those are the people that legitimize what we're doing. The fact we've been in this business almost 19 years also legitimizes the fact that we're doing what we're doing. We're not a multi-level. The FTC would have shut us down years ago if we were a multi-level, pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme. Mutual of Omaha, AIG, Transamerica wouldn't partner with us if we were doing something evil to other people. Like, understand the power of our business. Do you actually have to prove it yourself? Man, you have that mentality, then you're taking away opportunity for other people and yourself. You're taking the opportunity away from yourself. Remember the part about listening? This listening part? So this is where you get to test it. I'm telling you, I've made millions and millions of this business because I brought people on that didn't depend on whether I was successful. They trusted me that I would present to them something I thought was good, but I wasn't already making money. I showed them a leaderboard of people that were making money, and that's all they had to decide upon, whether or not the business worked. Then it became, well, it worked for me. So man, let me help you get that third, fourth, and fifth gear kicking in by letting me interview your people. I have the credibility, I have the knowledge, I can help your people move forward. If it's a list of 50, 100, I don't care what it is. But your top people, the people that you're afraid of, the people that are scared, you're scared of, they typically are at your ambition level and above, right? Man, put a list together, let me help you. I don't care if you got your license yet. You don't even have to have your license yet. I will help you build your business and take advantage of the full vehicle that you have, because the bottom line is, do you want to get it sooner than later? I've always heard people tell me, I'd rather have my goal sooner. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm recommending to you what has gotten me moving forward sooner, what got Andy Albright moving forward sooner. Man, he went to the million dollar income level within a year, a little over a year. He was running at a run rate of $1 million a year. And he did it not by himself, by writing business. He did it by finding people. And the big chunk of his gazillion dollars he made over the last, almost 19 years is based on finding people that he knew, like me and Fitz and Katz, people that he already knew, right? So list. The next one is, if you're not licensed, get your license. Golly. That word is license. Get your license now. Get your license. Why wait? Man, don't drag it out. It only takes a week. Sign up for class, get your license done. Sign up for class and get your license done. Okay? And then if you want to do this business quick, sign up for the next conference. The next one we're doing right now is Instant Thunder in September 19th through the 21st. Then the next conference after that will be National Conference. I think it's on the week before Super Bowl weekend. And sign up for that at alliancenationalconference.com, I believe. Or if you go to allianceeventures.com, you'll be able to sign up for the conference. So Instant Thunder in September and or the National Conference next January. But sign up for conference, make the commitment. So now I'm testing you. Your test is, can you put a list together? Can you go get your license if you don't already have it? And can you come out and sign up for the conference, list license conference? And that will tell me if you're after it, if you want what it is you want sooner than later. Okay? And then that tells me your indication and level of commitment. And then I will back your commitment up with commensurate commitment from me to help you. All right? I will pour into you big time, man. Because what you're telling me is that you're worthy of my investment in you because you're willing to listen, you're willing to work, you're willing to associate, and you're willing to change. You're willing to do those 4 things by what you do. I can hear what you say, but what you do speaks so loudly that your words I cannot hear. And what you do lets me know where you are, and then I have to decide with my time who I'm going to work with. And when I see you're all in, baby, then I'm going to be all in with you, right? So anyway, gosh, I hope someone was trying to call me. Maybe they were. I got someone in the home, so I actually have to probably end this now to help them out. Oh, crap. Okay. Rock on, man. God bless you. I hope you take this in the spirit that it's intended. Man, I want to help you all out as much as possible, and I hope that I gave it to you straight, that I didn't offend you, but I told you straight up what it takes, because I want you to get your goals and dreams sooner than later. I don't want anything to hang you up, and it's by virtue of my, really almost 30 years of experience in this business. This business 19 years, and the other business, that help us build this one, actually, me and Andy. So anyway, God bless, man. Love you. I want to help you. Let me know how I can help you. I'll give you everything I got, gang. But man, do those 4 things, and man, your business will change, your mind will change, your life will change. All right, man. God bless you, man.